here. Maybe you're new to fixing Xbox One controllers, or maybe you've done this before, but I learned a few tips and tricks along the way that I wanted to share. Now, this is the GuliKit. It's the replacement analog stick for the Xbox One. And it looks like this. Now, these are electromagnetic, and that's a huge advantage, and I'll explain in a second. There's your thumbsticks with a metal edge, it'll never wear out. And there's a couple cap covers, it's pretty cool. Now, this kit, it's actually designed for this controller. It's the one with the circular D-pad. You can install it in any Xbox One controller, it'll work. But the problem is after you install it, you have to calibrate it. And this is the only controller that you can do that with. So, stick with this one. Now, it started as a hobby, and then I told a couple of friends, and then they wanted their controllers fixed, and they told a couple of friends. I've literally fixed well over 100 Xbox One controllers now. In the process, I've purchased almost every single brand of analog stick to find a good one. This is the original Xbox One thumbstick. It's made by Alps. What makes this perfect though, the originals, think of it as a value of 0 to 10. They're 10K resistors. Imagine you go from 0 to 10 but in one step increments. So that's 0 plus 10, 0 minus 10. Now, if you buy a generic one, they're going to look identical in every way possible, and you cannot tell the difference. Now imagine you go from 0 to 8, so increments of 2. 0 to 8, 0 to minus 8. And now if you think of a first-person shooter, you're going to oversteer big time, and that's why these are no good. The closest brand I found was the Jow one. It is so close it's not even funny. On paper, they're near identical, and I'll show you why. Now, note if you measure this, these will not function for electromagnetic sticks. This is a totally different class. These only work for these ones now. If I measure this, it should be anywhere from about 5.2 to 5.5. That's the original, 5.3435. This is the aftermarket one. This is Jow. It is so close though. I played a first-person shooter. I kept missing with this one. I don't know why. The only brand I've ever found that isn't only as accurate as this, I'll say it's even better than this, is the GuliKit. After I recalibrated it, I was just shocked because it is so dead on accurate. And if you're wondering what the difference is, inside here it's electromagnetic. There's no physical contact. Inside these, the potentiometers, there's constant friction. So these look like this. Now imagine you have carbon on metal constantly contacting, because it's changing your resistance value, right? Over time it's going to wear. That's why you're always going to get stick drift. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you treat your controllers perfectly. They're always going to wear out. Now you can keep on buying these, but you can only resolder so many times. However, these, it's probably only one-time replacement. And I was just shocked at how accurate it was. You can actually see and feel the difference. So, now, a couple other tips here. These older controllers, they're a piece of cake to desolder and install new ones. But it wasn't designed for these. These controllers are a little more tricky, because inside the solder, they use lead-free solder. It's going to take a much higher temperature to take the old ones off. But make sure you have a solder stick. Make sure you have a solder vacuum. It doesn't have to be some high-tech electrical one. I've done so many with this, it's just fine. Use some flux. I would stay away from the solder braids. These it didn't work quite right. The key is just to take the old ones off and take your time. Because if you go too long or overheat it, you'll burn off the trace, and then you can retrace it. It's a lot of extra work. If you go slow though, and you'll make these work, you could go out and get a stick that already has drift on it, a controller that's not working, and you throw these in, you got a brand new controller that's probably even better than the original Xbox. So that's the first brand I ever found after 5 years of trying. But this is the one to go to. If you're wondering, should you try this brand. This is the one. This is the one to get for sure. Because then you're going to save a heck of a lot of time and money that I went through. And I found out the hard way. So I hope this clip helps you. And take your time on it. I started just on my own. And hey, I can do that blindfolded now. So